excuse me. I think one of my interests about Great Britain is the Good Friday Agreement. I think we've lost the Good Friday Agreement now. I think we've lost the Good Friday Agreement now. I think with Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, I think we lost the Good Friday Agreement, and this is very tragic, very unfortunate. I think the Good Friday Agreement took 30 years to negotiate. It took a lot of presidents and prime ministers and world leaders to negotiate, and I now think we've lost the Good Friday Agreement. So I think this is very important. I think we're likely to have perhaps a return of Northern Ireland terrorism in Great Britain because we've lost the Good Friday Agreement, and I think that's permanent. I mean, I think there's public information to check this now, so I think that if you look at Great Britain, there is an absence of the Good Friday Agreement. So I think that we're likely to have a return of the IRA, perhaps on the soil of Great Britain with terrorism, and I think this is a very serious and dangerous situation. I think a lot of world leaders have expressed concern about the Good Friday Agreement recently. I think Bill Clinton mentioned it, and various other world leaders. Tony Blair mentioned the Good Friday Agreement recently, and various other world leaders mentioned the Good Friday Agreement. And I think that it seems to be a concern for a lot of the world. So I think that Great Britain is in a dangerous position now with terrorism and a return to the Irish conflict with Great Britain. I think we have had some issues with Northern Ireland, and I think that Ireland is kind of a very dangerous and unstable position as well. I don't have friendly inclinations towards Ireland or the Irish people, but I think that Ireland is perhaps in some kind of deprived state. I don't think its economy is doing very well, and I think that it is in some kind of a dangerous position. So I think that it is in kind of a cornered situation, and it is quite destabilised. So I think that Ireland is perhaps dangerous in Europe at the moment. We've had a Brexit recently as well, and there's been the Northern Ireland border issue as well, which has caused the loss of the Good Friday Agreement, and I think that was the reason why we lost the Good Friday Agreement, because we had Brexit and an issue with the Northern Ireland border and Europe and the transit of goods. So I think that's why we lost the Good Friday Agreement, because of Brexit, and that's something to do with the Conservative Party and Prime Minister Rishi Sunak. I think he was involved with immigration issues. So I think that was one of the interests. But I think Rishi Sunak was perhaps, he's obviously the first black Prime Minister of Great Britain. So he's a very historically important British Prime Minister for Great Britain, because he's Great Britain's first black Prime Minister, and he also happens to be Indian and Hindu as well. So that's another feature. But I think he is Great Britain's first black Prime Minister. So I think that Great Britain has made political history in Great Britain by electing Great Britain's first black Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak. So that's quite important as well. But I think that think this loss of the Good Friday Agreement is quite a serious issue. Thank you very much.